Hey YouTube, so today I'm just going to show you what's arrived in my post, and it's a power supply. It's known as the DPS5015, and it's a 50 volt 15 amp adjustable power supply. So it's kind of a budget option if you need a bench power supply. So not usually into unboxing videos because it's a waste of time, but I thought I'd show you this one because it's come really well packaged, and I'm not sure if the sender's on here. It's bought from AliExpress, so I'll try and find you the link for that. That will be in the description. So it comes in this polystyrene box, which is all taped up. I've already opened it, run a knife around it, and then in there there's a reasonable amount of room. In there it's bubble wrapped, and inside the bubble wrap is this plastic case. And that comes with this one. I'm not sure, I haven't looked at this tool yet, so this is does appear to have some English on it, at least. So there's a booklet, so yeah, there we go. So you probably know about it if you're watching this video. You probably searched for a specific model, and you know mostly about it. But so we're looking at a 6 to 60 volt DC input, which allows you to have a 0 to 50 volt output. Output current is controllable from 0 to 15 amps, and the output power range is 0 to 750. There is a note: you must make sure that the input voltage is 1.1 times higher than the output voltage. And there may also be an issue of it supplying the current. If you've got if you're at the higher end and you want a low output voltage but a high current, you may not reach the specs, I'm led to believe. So I actually came across this on the Budget Light forum, and it was recommended on there. The manufacturer actually came on and added to the discussion, so we'll have a look at what's in here. So this is really nicely done, it all fits nice and snug, and very well protected, so you can be pretty confident that you're not going to get any damage. And this thing shipped fairly quick. I mean, from China to the UK in I believe less than 2 weeks, and we're just in December now, so we're approaching Christmas, busy time of year. And these room cables. So I haven't looked at it at all. I assume that this connects in here, and they go back to the actual main motherboard kind of thing here. So obviously this is where all the work happens. You just control it on the screen. Hopefully I'll get this set up and we'll actually power it up and you'll be able to see it. But so you select voltage and current, and then you can obviously up and down. That's a rotary and push in and the on off switch. A little bit of plastic protection there. And then on here we've got the output there. We've got some thick gauge current shunts there, obviously, so it can measure the current. Some output capacitors, choke, little tiny heatsink, and a tiny fan. I'm guessing that's on some MOSFETs or something like that. Obviously I'm no electronic genius, so don't expect an EEV blog type teardown of this thing. I'm just showing you, and hopefully you guys know more than me and can pick up something useful from it. See inside. So how close we can get and show you the detail. So obviously if there's anything you want to look at there, just pause it and have a look. I'm led to believe you can pop another fan in parallel with this, a 5V fan. So if you put it into a case, I'm guessing it would fit a similar case to a Raspberry Pi. Actually, it's obviously a bit deeper, but very similar. The capacitors, let's just have a look. So they're JAKEC 105 rated. So they're a bit close to the win there on a 63V rating with a 60V input, but as you'll see in a second, mine's going to be a 48V, so there is a bit of headroom, not a lot though. It looks nicely made. There's nothing on the back. Just the hold downs for the heatsink. They don't appear to be done up too tightly. Might just check them actually. And it comes with these little plastic standoffs which look just about high enough. So there we go. And the second part to this, which is critical if you're going to use it, is a power supply. So grab the box from over here. This is I was actually quite pleased with this one as well. So this came the day before. They were ordered the same day, both from AliExpress, and this was the day before the adjustable parts. They came together. The like I said, the maker of this came onto the forum and recommended that a Meanwell power supply was used. They're a Chinese power supply, but they've got a reasonable reputation and quite reliable and safe, which is critical when using this. So yep, double boxed with foam and bubble wrap. So the outer box has taken a slight bashing, but no sign of it on the new box inside. That came really well packaged. Snug fit on this one, so no additional packaging in there. Snug fit, and the terminals covered over with a card, and that's what it looks like. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to run mains into here, and then we're going to have the DC output, which is 48V, 7.3 amps, so 350W I guess, and we're going to supply that into the input here, and then we can control the output that this supplies to whatever we got connected. So it makes a great tester for, say, lithium, a great charger for lithium batteries. You could charge a fair few lithium batteries at the same time if you wanted. Parallel them up and charge them. Just set the voltage obviously to 4.2 and set the current limit to whatever you require. So you could charge a load of them into parallel and not have to worry about it. Or you could obviously drive LED, test LEDs, things like that. There's loads of stuff, whatever you can use a power supply for. So I'll stop the tape there, and we'll have another look at it in a minute. Okay, so before I carry on and connect this thing up, I thought I'd just whip the screws out of this Meanwell power supply and open the lid up and show you what's inside. So again, we've got a little fan. I want to connect to that. Connected that actually. But here we go. So we got our input down here, fused. It's nice isolation slots there, which looks good. Got this choker coil. There's a voltage selector there, so this will do 230 and 120, I believe. So work in the US or other places. Obviously we're on 230 here, well 240, and this is within spec. Some larger capacitors there, and we can make them out. Heat sinking. Yeah, basically it all looks quite nice. It's well made, nothing wrong with it. Bit of gunk holding components firmly, and isolation slots. Well, looking at it closer, they appear to at least show some thought's gone into the design, and hopefully this is a safe thing. Which, when you look online, it does come as recommended supply. So there we go. That's inside of it. Now I really want to find an enclosure and put it in and whatnot, but for now I'll just look at trying to power this thing up and see what we get. Okay, so we're all hooked up. I've got mains input to the mean well here, and the DC output coming into the DPS5015, and the output, I haven't actually got anything to just load it with in a minute, so I've just put it into my Fluke 123. So obviously it's a scope meter. It's not as good as an oscilloscope, but we will see our readings. So I'll just plug it in. Now the only thing I've done is plugged in the mean well, and I just checked that the output voltage and polarity was correct, and sure enough it was 48.2 volts, and the polarity was correct. So obviously I've checked it here and here, the polarities, and obviously that one's in and that one's out. Make double sure on those. And there's no instructions in the manual here where these ribbon cables go, or not that I've seen. So what you need to do is, if you look, there's one on the board there, it just says LCD above it, and that one there says key, and this cover pops off on the back because it is tight. I've tried to get it in first of all about it, but it just literally pops on and off. And they've got the same, that there's key and LCD written on there, so that's not too bad. Right, so let's plug her in. Oh, the studio failure now. I'm trying to block out some lights because the screen on the 123 doesn't like it at all, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass. I've precariously balanced a piece of plastic there. Okay, get a little click when the mean well comes on, and just a green LED indicating that it is on. So the Fluke is showing nothing there. I think you can see that fine. It looks okay on the viewfinder. You can see the screen here. It looks really nice. I like the look of that. Okay, so on and off sets the output there. So we've got 5.02, and my Fluke is reading 5. Let's just see if I can. No, okay, the 123 doesn't go down to a yes it does. Yep, there we go. So yeah, it's fairly accurate. Pressing off. See, it dies away here. So you can see where the output falls away. That's obviously these output capacitors discharging, and the problem you might get if you turn it on here without anything connected, and then you connect something in, those capacitors will be charged, and as you initially connect it, they'll dump their energy into the device you connect, so it could possibly damage it. So what you should do is connect, say, your LED to those points first, and then turn it on. So I've not read the instructions at all, and I'm completely winging this. I did see a review online, but I just scanned it and didn't really look properly. So see how obvious it is. Okay, so V highlights that figure there. See if we can zoom you in a little. We'll probably be out of focus. Right, this is a bit, as you can see, a bit precariously set up, but there we go. Okay, so V, and we highlight the first digit. Okay, and then we come off of it. So I've pressed A, and I'm just winding this down. I don't know. Okay, so I can change digit there. Yeah, so we can whip through. Whip through nicely. So the current's not gonna make any difference here, because I've just got this multimeter. Oh. That's that light. If I turn it on, okay, so I'm going to have to zoom you back out to see the fluke still, aren't I? Okay, I can hear a very slight whine from the board, very slight. I'm quite sensitive to that sort of thing, so when I say it's slight, it is very slight. So there we go, 10 volts out, and if we try adjusting it with it on, yeah, it does it immediately, so I'm going to go off the scale of the fluke now. As you can see, the voltage is pretty accurate. So we should get at least 40 volts. Obviously there's no load connected, so with a load connected we'd be able to see if there was any issue there, because we got a 48 volt input. Yeah, so we seem to be okay, so we're going up. Okay, it knows. It's gone to 47 and won't go any higher, but the actual output is still showing on there, 44.59, and we're getting 49 on the fluke. I don't know if I said that, the Fluke is calibrated, so it's due next month, so it should be fairly accurate. And as we wind it back down, it goes back down. So yeah, obviously with the 48 volts, and I did measure that to 48.2, this thing's giving us 44. Now as you load that up, if you put a load on it, you may find that it can't give you what you need. And the same might be possible if you're down at the low end, you might not get the 15 amps. So obviously the fan here must be controlled another way, because as you can see it's not actually come on. And it's just sat there nicely, so I'm really happy with that. That looks really good. I'll include the links underneath where I bought them from, the sellers, and if you need more information, more technical information, then just do a search on them. Certainly on BLF forum there was a good test on there by one of the well-known members, so look that up. Anyway, I'll keep playing with this, and if I find anything interesting I'll do another video. But thanks for watching, hope this was some help. See you next time.